It brings me no good joy to say this, but I told you so. I told y'all literally yesterday. I told y'all, as a matter of fact, take a look right here. Right there, bang. The truth exposed. Here's why WNBA players are not signing the WNBA offer. I told y'all that yesterday. See, I be bringing y'all the news you could use. Now, I'm not like these other fools. Here you go like that. Oh, man. But it does not. I'm not happy about.
The silence hit like a thunderclap. The WNBA Players Association flatly rejected the $1.1 million max salary proposal. This wasn't just about money, it was a shockwave that reverberated through every locker room and living room alike. For Caitlin Clark, the implications are enormous, as the league collectively said no to a potentially game-changing payday. The aftermath erupted instantly, sparking a whirlwind of debate and tension across the league. Voices rose in disbelief, outrage spilling over at this bold move. This collective pushback could reshape the WNBA's future, sending ripples that touch every star. It's a raw, historic moment, leaving everyone grappling with the magnitude of the rejection.
Like that. Oh, man. But it does not. I'm not happy about what is going on, man. WNBA players have officially turned down the offer of $1.1 million. We got to get into all of this. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video. Let's rock. So we got to get into all of this, y'all. We got to get into all of this, y'all. These WNBA players ain't playing no games, man. They play. Look, this is the definition of playing hardball, and I think it's time.
This outcome wasn't unexpected. Analysts had been warning for days that a deadlock was inevitable, and their prediction proved true. The so-called lucrative offer was never really in play. The reasoning behind the WNBA players' rejection of what some called a game changer is now crystal clear. But this isn't just another headline, it's evidence of a deeper, ongoing struggle within the league. This calculated refusal has left everyone stunned. Insiders who understand the players' mindset foresaw the gap between expectation and reality, and now that divide is undeniable. Moving forward is anything but certain, the path littered with tension and high stakes. While the league pushes for stability, the players are drawing a line in the sand, forcing a complete reevaluation of strategy. The ripple effects are massive, and their impact won't be forgotten anytime soon.
This, y'all, these WNBA players ain't playing no games, man. They play. Look, this is the definition of playing hardball, and I think it's time for the WNBA to put their foot down and move on. This was Alexa Philippou. WNBPA doesn't see proposed $1.1 million max salary as moving negotiations forward. This is craziness, man. I told you at the end of the day, I told y'all it wasn't even about, they wasn't going to accept the bread because it's not even truly just about the bread. I told y'all that it's about the prioritization. They want to be able to go play in these other leagues and not be required to be back.
This isn't just a negotiation, it's a high-stakes standoff, pushing the league to the edge. The WNBA Players Association made it clear they won't compromise on the $1.1 million max salary. This isn't about money alone. It's a calculated power move, testing the league's patience and forcing them to weigh extreme options. Rumors now swirl about drawing a hard line, even moving forward without those who dissent. This isn't merely a contract dispute, it's a battle over authority. The WNBA could assert control instead of negotiating, sending tensions skyrocketing. What's unfolding could create a lasting fracture, threatening the season and striking at the heart of professional women's basketball, with consequences that demand urgent attention.
I'm going to accept the bread because it's not even truly just about the bread. I told y'all that it's about the prioritization. They want to be able to go play in these other leagues and not be required to be back in time for WNBA training camp and all of that. We've already seen Gabby Williams voice this. I told y'all they wasn't going to accept this, and I'm not happy about it. I think it's time for the WNBA to move on with replacement players. Point blank, period. This is crazy, man. What do y'all want? What do y'all want? Do y'all want? Are y'all looking for $2.5 million as a max with $1 million as a minimum? Like, what is it that you're asking for? This is the third comprehensive.
The real issue isn't just the paycheck, it's about player priorities. Athletes are pushing for the freedom to pursue high-paying global opportunities without being tied down by WNBA training camp schedules. This isn't a minor request, it's a fundamental shift in professional independence, allowing players to maximize their earnings year-round without facing penalties. They want full control over their careers, making choices that align with both financial gain and long-term growth. The latest offer fell short, leaving a wide gap between what the league proposed and what players truly want. This isn't simply a negotiation over money, it's a struggle over autonomy and opportunity, challenging the WNBA's ability to attract and retain its top stars. The stakes are monumental, shaping the future of the league and redefining the balance of power in professional women's basketball.
$2.5 million as a max with $1 million as a minimum. Like, what is it that you're asking for? This is the third comprehensive offer that WNBA has sent. Look, time is of the essence. It's November 20th. That damn extension is running out. It's running out. The strike, the lockout is on the way. At this point, the owners are just gonna lock these players out and move on with replacement players. And I think at this point, that is what they should do. Let's get into this here. It said initially, the reaction on social media was that this was exactly what the
Gabby Williams spoke out clearly, demanding greater autonomy for players. Her position made it obvious. Any proposal that didn't prioritize player control would meet fierce resistance. The rejection of the $1.1 million deal underscored this united stance, showing the players' unwillingness to compromise. This defiance pushed the WNBA to the edge, even forcing talks about bringing in replacement players, a move that could reshape the league entirely. With the players standing firm, the league is backed into a corner, making a future with new faces increasingly likely. This moment signals an unprecedented shift in professional women's basketball, affecting rosters, league strategy, and the competitive landscape. The WNBA now faces major challenges in maintaining its talent pool, with uncertainty looming over its direction and core identity.
That is what they should do. Let's get into this here. It said initially, the reaction on social media was that this was exactly what the players were looking for with a ratified CBA, and fans were convinced this meant that a new deal would be struck soon and there would certainly be a WNBA season in 2026. Now, I felt like this was a good offer. I feel like this was a fair offer, and I was hoping that the players would sign it, because at the end of the day, I don't dislike Kathy Engelbert in the WNBA enough to the point where I don't want to care to see Caitlin Clark to play. I care more about
what do the players really want. With a $1.1 million max and a $222,000 minimum, their ambitions clearly go beyond those numbers. Are they pushing for a $2.5 million maximum and a solid $1 million minimum, raising the stakes even higher? The WNBA presented 3 full proposals, yet each was met with firm rejection. This back and forth only heightens uncertainty, leaving the league guessing where the players' expectations truly lie. The ambiguity fuels frustration, pushing a resolution further out of reach and complicating an already urgent timeline. The league is scrambling to grasp the financial benchmarks needed to break through, adding more layers to an already tense standoff. With time slipping away, as pressure mounts on both sides to reach an agreement before the situation spirals completely out of control.
I don't dislike Kathy Engelbert in the WNBA enough to the point where I don't want to care to see Caitlin Clark to play. I care more about seeing Caitlin Clark play. I enjoy watching her play more than I'm disgusted by the WNBA, than I'm disgusted by Kathy Engelbert. So I'm hoping that a deal gets done. I'm not one of those people that want a lockout. I just can read between the lines, and I knew the players were not going to accept it. Think about all of this stuff, man. This is everybody involved is a conflict of interest. All these people on the board either have interest in stake and unrivaled, and they're getting money over there, or they're in project.
Time is slipping away. November 20th has come and gone, and the countdown on this critical contract extension continues, bringing the league dangerously close to a lockout or strike. The prospect of a complete halt to the WNBA season has become real, forcing owners to weigh drastic measures. Rumors suggest the league is seriously considering locking out players and moving forward with replacement talent. What was once negotiation has hardened into an ultimatum, a sign of mounting frustration. With patience running thin, the league appears ready to rebuild with fresh faces rather than yield to demands it deems excessive. This escalation threatens to upend the entire WNBA ecosystem, affecting players, fans, and the league's commercial stability, leaving the sport's future uncertain and its long-term appeal in question.
Everybody involved is a conflict of interest. All these people on the board either have interest in stake in Unrivaled and they're getting money over there, or they're in Project B. It's a complete conflict of interest all the way around. It's a complete conflict of interest all the way around. They can't say it's about the money. The most money Unrivaled can offer you is $250,000. That is the minimum in the WNBA with this offer. That is near the minimum in the WNBA with this offer, so it can't just be about the bread, which is what I've been saying. Here it says, ESPN Insider provides new information on WNBA CBA negotiations.
Initially, social media buzzed with optimism. Fans assumed the $1.1 million offer was exactly what the players were seeking. There was hope for a quickly ratified CBA and an exciting 2026 season. Many viewed the proposal as fair, some even saw it as generous, sparking widespread anticipation for a swift resolution. Public enthusiasm made the eventual rejection all the more shocking. The disconnect between fan expectations and the players' actual stance reveals a deep divide. The issues go far beyond salary, shattering the notion that this would be an easy negotiation. Questions arose about what it would take to satisfy the players, causing confusion and frustration among fans. For many, the priority isn't the internal disputes, but simply seeing generational talent like Caitlin Clark on the court. Her presence is magnetic, embodying the essence of the WNBA. The hope was that a deal would secure her continued spotlight, highlighting the tension between administrative frustrations and the passion for the game. The potential of missing Clark due to a lockout or strike adds immense pressure on both sides. Protecting star power and ensuring the game's excitement are essential to maintaining the league's growth and fan engagement. Beneath these high-stakes negotiations lies a web of conflicting interests. Some board members and player leaders reportedly have stakes in rival ventures like Unrivaled or Project B, creating potential conflicts where CBA decisions could affect alternative league profitability. If the dispute were purely financial, comparisons show Unrivaled's $250,000 max pales against the WNBA's $222,000 minimum and $1.1 million max. This indicates that motivations go beyond simple compensation, suggesting a strategic battle for market influence rather than player welfare alone. These conflicts complicate negotiations and deepen distrust, making transparency and resolution more difficult. ESPN WNBA insider Alexa Philippou offered clarity on the players' true position. On NBA Today, she confirmed the WNBA Players Association feels the latest proposal does not advance meaningful discussion. Despite impressive figures, a $1.1 million max, $222,000 minimum, and $460,000 average, the central issue remains unaddressed. Players seek a revenue-sharing system that ensures their compensation grows alongside the league's success. This isn't about temporary fixes. It's about creating an equitable, sustainable financial partnership. Salary must evolve proportionally with business growth, aligning player earnings with the league's prosperity. The current proposal, while financially improved, falls short of integrating revenue sharing to the level demanded. Players see it as a stopgap, not a long-term solution. Without this core component, the offer fails to secure a truly fair future, leaving the door open for continued conflict. Even with the $1.1 million max on the table, the underlying systemic issues demand a broader, more comprehensive approach from both the league and the players. Adding another layer of complexity is the lingering uncertainty around revenue sharing. What exactly would a fair and mutually agreeable system look like? ESPN WNBA insider Alexa Philippou noted that even the players themselves lack clarity on the specifics. They want a share of revenue. Yes, but the structure, parameters, and operational details are still in flux. It's not just a matter of asking for more money, it's about defining how that more would work in practice. This lack of concrete proposals makes it even harder for the WNBA to craft an acceptable offer, turning negotiations into a constantly moving target. The disconnect between the two sides prolongs the stalemate, making any quick resolution seem distant. The league has shown genuine willingness to compromise. Initial offers started at an $800,000 max, price, then rose to $1 million, and finally to a $1.1 million maximum. Each step represented a meaningful increase, demonstrating effort to meet player demands. Yet repeated rejections signal perceived inflexibility from the players, leaving league officials wondering if $1.1 million isn't enough. What number ever will be? This cycle of rejection has created deadlock, pushing the parties further apart and making resolution increasingly unlikely. The looming deadline threatens to disrupt the entire season, intensifying the urgency for a breakthrough to protect the league's stability and reputation. With traditional negotiations at an impasse, a bold alternative has gained attention, moving forward without dissenting veteran players. This strategy focuses on the league's deep pool of young talent, leveraging rookie contracts and 2026 draft prospects. Imagine a WNBA season centered on stars like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, and Nika MW, supplemented by international and overlooked domestic talents. This approach bypasses the stalemate and builds a fresh, dynamic roster, prioritizing youth, energy, and long-term growth. The logic is simple. Many established veterans, while respected, no longer drive ticket sales or viewership as strongly. The magnetism of stars like Caitlin Clark fuels renewed fan engagement and unprecedented interest in the WNBA. By investing in emerging talent, rookies like Lauren Betts, A. Fudd, Olivia Miles, and Fel Johnson, the league can showcase the next generation of stars, captivating fans and ensuring sustainable growth. This youth-focused strategy positions the league for the future, keeping it relevant in an evolving sports landscape. Caitlin Clark remains the league's ultimate trump card. Her unmatched popularity and ability to draw massive viewership provide leverage to explore this new path. Coupled with rising talents like Angel Reese, Raka Jackson, Cameron Brink, and Mika Mule, the WNBA has a solid, marketable core capable of carrying the league even if veteran players strike. International and previously unsigned players could supplement the roster, ensuring the show goes on. This strategic pivot demonstrates resilience and forward thinking, even if it requires restructuring the entire player pool. Frustration is reaching a boiling point among fans and analysts alike. The inability to resolve negotiations despite a $1.1 million offer has pushed patience to its limits, sparking exasperation. This isn't just a financial dispute, it feels like a betrayal of the league's potential, especially with emerging stars like Caitlin Clark entering the scene. Public disbelief and anger reflect passionate investment in the WNBA's future, fueling calls for decisive action to protect the sport from internal strife and safeguard its growth and visibility. The rejection of the $1.1 million offer also casts uncertainty over Caitlin Clark's early professional career. While she didn't personally reject the deal, the WNBA Players Association's stance leaves her anticipated debut in a precarious position, underscoring how deeply these negotiations affect not only the league, but its brightest rising stars. This decision affecting the collective bargaining agreement has thrown the landscape for a superstar like Caitlin Clark into uncertainty, threatening the momentum she's worked so hard to build. The looming possibility of a lockout or the use of replacement players could alter or even diminish the platform for her extraordinary talent. And this collective rejection indirectly risks sidelining the very star the WNBA relies on most, jeopardizing her ability to fully harness her rising stardom within a stable, thriving league. It's a major setback for the league's most valuable asset and its future commercial prospects. More than just a contract dispute, this is a defining moment for the WNBA's trajectory, a crucible that will determine its direction. The rejection of the $1.1 million offer, coupled with debates over prioritizing young stars like Clark, forces the league to confront difficult questions. How much power do players hold? How sustainable is the league? What is the true cost of compromise? Whether the WNBA stands firm on cultivating new talent or chooses to bridge the divide with its veterans, the fallout will be profound. The league's growth, driven by exceptional talent and dedicated fans, hangs in the balance. The decisions made now will shape careers, define the league's legacy, and leave a lasting imprint on women's professional basketball worldwide. The pressing question remains, what sacrifices will be necessary to secure this vision, and what does the future hold for this dynamic, evolving league?